Story 9. The Incense of Forgotten Prayers. Story 9. The Incense of Forgotten Prayers. Every unanswered prayer becomes something. At Dhoopgarh, it became smoke. The monastery smelled of everything. That was the first wrong thing. Not the silence. Not the empty sleeping cells. Not the prayer wheels turning slowly without wind. The smell. Too many fragrances layered together. Sandalwood. Camphor. Wet cedar. Jasmine. Rose. Burned milk. Rain on stone. A child's hair. A deathbed cloth. Scents with no herb behind them. Scents that remembered people. Nisha came to Dhoopgarh for a recipe. Her grandmother's notes described an incense that could carry prayers beyond the visible sky. The final ingredient was missing. The note gave only one instruction. Find what remains after hope burns. The monks of Dhoopgarh had vanished years before. Villagers said they walked into the mist forest one morning and did not return. Nisha did not believe that. Whole communities did not vanish because trees looked inviting. Then she heard the forest breathing. Inhale. The branches leaned inward. Exhale. Mist rolled between the trunks. The workshop was untouched. Mortars arranged by size. Knives cleaned and laid flat. Drying racks empty. Shelves full of resin and bark and powdered flowers. Everything waited for hands. Nisha mixed her first batch with sandalwood, camphor, dried petals, and gum resin. The paste rolled cleanly. The cones dried properly. When she lit one, it smoked like ordinary incense. Competent. Dead. The missing ingredient sat in a glass jar at the back of the lowest shelf. Grey powder. Warm through the glass. It shifted when she touched the jar, rising and falling like breath. Ash. Not wood ash. Human. She opened the lid. The smell struck her as whispers. Hundreds of them. Layered together. Some pleading. Some bargaining. Some repeating the same few words until the words had lost meaning and become only need. Nisha added one pinch. The paste darkened. The cone dried in seconds. When she lit it, the pressure in the room changed. Her ears popped. The smoke did not drift. It climbed in a tight grey column, thick as rope. A face formed inside it. Not clear. Not complete. Just eyes, mouth, the suggestion of cheekbones. The mouth opened. No words came. The prayer entered Nisha through her teeth. She felt it in the sternum first. Then the throat. Then behind her eyes. A desperate wish from a person already dead. Let him come home. The smoke broke apart. Nisha stood with one hand over her mouth and the taste of someone else's last hope on her tongue. She lit another cone. This time the face was older. The smoke mouth trembled. Please let me see my daughter once more. The prayer lodged in Nisha's throat. She tried to say her own name. The old woman's voice came out instead. Please let me see my daughter once more. Nisha clamped her mouth shut. The words pushed through her closed lips. She ran. Through the workshop. Through the corridor lined with empty cells. Through a meditation hall where mats lay in neat rows and each mat still held the faint shape of knees. The prayers followed inside her. Not around her. Inside. They stacked in her throat, one above another. Harvest prayers. War prayers. Birth prayers. Death prayers. Small prayers spoken over fevered children. Large prayers screamed beside funeral fires. By the time she reached the forest edge, she could barely breathe. The trees inhaled. The prayers shifted upward in her throat. The forest wanted them. Nisha dropped to the moss and clawed at her neck. She understood then why the monks had walked into the trees. They had not been called by beauty. They had been pulled by the weight in their throats. The forest fed on supplication. Its resin held the prayers. The monks harvested the resin, mixed it with the ash of the praying dead, burned it, released the prayers, and became the next vessel for what remained unanswered. A cycle of holy work and slow consumption. Nisha crawled back to the workshop. The jar was breathing harder now. She closed it. The prayers in her throat settled, but did not leave. She tried to whisper help. Please let the harvest come. She tried to say I am afraid. Please let my son return from war. She tried to say Nisha. Please let her remember me. Her own voice was buried beneath the dead. She left Dhoopgarh carrying the jar wrapped in cloth. She did not know why she took it. Perhaps the prayers wanted to travel. Perhaps the recipe had found another set of hands. In the city of Sagundpura, people came to hear the woman who spoke in prayers. Some called her holy. Some called her cursed. Some knelt and begged her to speak for their dead. Nisha could not refuse them. Refusal required a voice of her own. At night, when she opens her mouth to scream, someone else's dying wish comes out. In Dhoopgarh, the forest still breathes. Resin thickens on the bark. New prayers gather in the mist. The jar waits in her room, warm under its cloth. The recipe is not complete. It is continuing.